I've never voted before and I'm a graduate, so I want to find out more about politics because, to be honest, I really don't know anything about it.
Till a week ago I didn't have a clue about politics, to be honest. When I got involved with this whole event, I did do some research.
A lot of young people, I think, to be fair to say, don't actually understand a lot of the politics. Again, probably due to the fact that they're not perhaps taught enough.
At school, you don't know anything about politics because they don't teach you, and I think they should.
There's a lot of speculation about people graduating now and not finding a graduate job. So I hope to obviously do this social breakfast brings an outcome to one of my questions.
I graduated last July and I haven't been able to find a job. I've been volunteering, but still finding it really hard to get a job. So yeah, that's something I'd be interested to ask about.
Something like this, I mean, is a good opportunity to go out there and actually meet some politicians and actually get involved.
Well, Social Breakfast is an interactive website that brings young people closer to politicians and decision makers, whether they're captains of industry, leaders of local authorities. It just gives young people a different way of connecting with people who are influential so that they can get their views across. I do have some concerns that certainly over the last decade or so that young people have felt more and more isolated and more marginalised. And if you look at some of the research says that we've got some of the most unhappiest young people in Europe, and this is frankly a real indictment on our society.
I don't have to remember everybody's names this way. This is fantastic. Tim. Tim, absolutely. We should write Tim in big letters on that.
I'd never been to Westminster before I took my seat.
Really?
Never been there. I had no reason to go there.
Yeah, it's an impressive building. It's like,
you know.
I don't think young people have dramatically different issues. I think you're at a different point in your life, so you've got a different take on things like crime.
I think the things that we talked about, some of them are about quality of life, you know, music and our leisure pursuits and so on, you know, whether or not Chelsea beat Aston Villa on Saturday, you know, could affect our lives, who knows?
Exactly what you're saying and the effects on our lives. What I've come to realise is that the films that they're watching, the music that they listen to, and the weed or the scully that they're smoking, all influences the way that they're coming out their house and the things that they do. And I find that people at the highest level create policies, councils do certain things, people get funding to create projects that will last 16 months or 6 months. First thing I've noticed is one, you've got Bullet Boy, you've got Kidulthood, Adulthood, you've got One Day, now you've got a new one called Shank. Every single one of these films, the kids die.
It's the people that are making the films and doing the music aren't like, I don't think they're doing it like purposely to lead people astray. I think it's more of an experience thing, like it's the only thing they know.
Don't you think one of the key things is getting involved in the creative process? I mean, entirely to Emma's point that if you're just going to the cinema and you're watching some of these negative movies in a sense, that's one thing. But actually getting people to do creative things is a very powerful thing that people can do.
Well, I agree with you, but at the same time, yeah, I don't think it's that the movies or the music that's influencing. Well, it is an influence, but it also comes down to like the environment.
Why are you interested in young people to vote now? Why now? 2 years ago, I mean, they weren't really bothered, but now it's like, oh, okay, young people.
No, that's not true, Bilal. It's not true. I mean, I talked about young people in my maiden speech in Parliament 10 years ago. This has been an issue all of my political life, not just for me, but for political parties. But obviously, as you head to an election, I suppose voting is the most obvious symbolic manifestation of whether young people are politically engaged.
I don't remember any of this last time I voted, when I voted. I don't remember any of this promotion to get young people, this drive, to get young people's vote. I don't remember any of that.
I see. Well,
that's what Bala's saying. Why now? Why now? You're so interested in young people?
I think because things were so bad in the last election. I think because people have seen that you can motivate young people. They saw that in the States, in the American elections. So there's a lot of effort.
We need to work on getting young people who are over the age of 18, you know, between 18 and 30 interested before we can start thinking about the 16 and 17-year-olds. I mean, I just think that would lead to more apathy and a bigger percentage of people who don't vote, to be honest, because at the moment 18, 19-year-olds don't know enough, so we need to focus on those people who have the power at the moment and aren't using it.
I don't see the argument for making it lowering the vote to 16, because I think the reason why most young people don't vote is because they don't fully understand the issues, they don't understand politics, the system.
I agree with you two, really. I think that it's a bit of a cop-out in a way. I think the issue is why aren't people who've got the vote at 18, and I think that in terms of making the case for lowering the voting age, I think the best way to make the case for lowering the voting age is for young people who've got the vote at 18 to be using it.
But if you're doing my job, this is a very, very tough political time. This last 10 years.
It's like entrepreneurship is not just about making as much money as you can, it's like community interest companies.
Well, what about social enterprise? What do you think about social enterprises?
You know, I think that sort of thing is very important. I mean, I don't make a big distinction between, if you like, for-profit type enterprises and social enterprises. For instance, you know, you can deliver education that way, you can deliver healthcare that way, but you know, what you need to do is encourage people so that they've got the skills to do this.
Although you're giving them the skills, getting them entrepreneurial skills and things, do you think they need to have, you know, those deeper values of giving back a little bit so that it is sustainable? It's not just the rich get rich and the poor get poorer.
You know, we had a bit of laughter from the city, but actually we're really serious about this, is that we want to limit bankers' bonuses. I think it's completely wrong in society where, you know, you've got this huge gap between rich and poor in this country.
What the government do, like when Tony Blair was going over to America and he was meeting with him, and he was just basically missing the issues that were going on here. That's why George Bush lost over there, because they said they wanted someone to deal with things here, and that's what's going on here. We want someone to deal with something here, not compare against America and then say the Americans are there. Oh, let's do it over here.
What are you saying? You said to me, why are you bothering doing this?
I mean,
I said to you, I've been doing this for 10 years and we're bothering because there was a low turnout last time and because you can motivate people, and then you come back and say to me, well, why are you bothering?
Why are you bothering comparing it to America?
I'm just saying that I'm saying, you know.
To me, if you was to ask me, it was like, it'd be like you're trying to get the votes in. You know, just to get the votes in, because there was no one there. Let's get the young people, let's tell them all this, and then we just want to get the votes in.
The event today has been absolutely fantastic. You know, we've got politicians that have been put under real scrutiny by young people, and you know, I've sat and listened very, very carefully to the sort of issues and questions that have been posed by the young people. And I've got to confess, I've just been hugely impressed.
Are you ready to Iraq?
It was really good.
He had the personality.
Yeah, definitely changed my views about politics.